We're just under 2 hours away from the first debate of this presidential campaign.
And WGN is airing tonight's debate, and Jenna Barnes is joining us now with some background on what to be looking for.
Yeah, tonight's debate is unprecedented, though both presidents will be asked about the major issues facing the country. Political science experts tell us viewers care less about what they say and more about how they say it.
There has never been a televised debate with a current president and a former president.
Wheels down in Atlanta. President Biden and former President Trump are ready for a rematch in what will be the earliest general election debate in history, with issues like the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, abortion rights, and the economy top of mind.
The difficulty that President Biden is going to have is he is going to want to tell us how the statistics show that everything is better in the U.S. than anywhere else in the world, and that things are strong and getting stronger here in the U.S., all of which in terms of statistics are true. But the problem is people don't feel it.
But experts say the issues will take a back seat to the performances.
Because we're in such a polarized climate where there's such a small amount of people who really don't know for whom they're going to vote in a federal election, it really is about how are the candidates going to come across.
North Central College political science professor Dr. Suzanne Schad says Biden will try to fight the narrative about his age.
We are looking for how sharp and energetic is President Biden. Can he think on his feet quickly?
And the debate setup could impact how Trump performs. He's known to interrupt, but host CNN will mute each candidate's microphone when it's not their turn to speak, and there will be no audience.
Because we don't know which former President Trump we're going to get, I don't know whether the microphone off is going to favor him or not. And to that end, there's no crowd. And he feeds off of the crowd.
Despite the building anticipation, Schad says debates typically don't impact election outcomes in any statistically significant way.
But what it can do, any of those things independently or collectively, can create energy around a candidate to mobilize more voters that may have gone out to vote for them previously.
And an Associated Press NORC poll finds that most adults in the U.S., about 6 in 10, do plan to watch at least some part of tonight's debate, which again gets underway in less than 2 hours, guys.
And everybody can watch that CNN presidential debate simulcast right here on WGN starting at 8 o'clock tonight. Political analyst Paul Lisnek will join us here in studio for a recap after the debate ends.